Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. I'm your host.
That's Natasha Leggero, and I'm Moshe Kasher. As you know, if you watch the show on YouTube, you'll know. I just have a quick tale to tell about the breaking the fourth wall of the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. If you watch the show on YouTube, you will note that we record our show on a great big white cloth woven couch. And we have 3 white dogs that last week were going to stay upstairs. But Natasha, she said, stop the presses. I'm going to go and I'm going to get these dogs because the viewers like watching the dogs chomp on strawberries.
Well, here's the thing. Those dogs, I don't want to spoil your big reveal.
Well, the dogs came down and at, I would say, 1 second after we stopped recording our previous, we were like saying our good nights and walking upstairs. Well, one of the dogs, I would say the worst of the dogs, my dog, the dog that I brought to the table,
Pablo
Escobar Kasher, had what I would call the most intense doggeria I have ever seen directly on this white couch.
We've been cleaning it all week.
The symbol was like, do you remember the octopus creatures in that movie with Amy Adams? What was it called? The alien movie?
It looked like something from Seven, like from the bedpost of Seven.
It was the writing from, what was the Amy Adams movie?
It was like circular.
Yes, circular, like the octopus creatures were trying to communicate with the Earthlings. It was that, but Arrival. That's right. It was called Arrival, and Pablo had an arrival of his very own. It was horrifying.
It was so awful. Well, can I say why this happened? I've been going on toddler blogs trying to find things for my kid to do that isn't watching TV. So then this woman's like, "Oh, get a rice bin together."
Oh, a sensory bin.
So I got this like rice bin together, and she played with it like
it's a bucket. It's a big shallow bucket of rice with toys in it, right?
Yeah, like just with measuring spoons. She was like for 50 minutes, which is really long for a toddler, just is absorbed in this activity.
And
then
the
I
dogs
realized
gathered round and chomped on raw rice.
So now the dog is having this rice-a-ria for all week, just like diarrhea with rice in it all over all of our beloved objects.
Truly a horrifying experience.
But it was almost worth the 55 minutes I got of our child not crying.
Well, we got 55 minutes of child not crying. We got 5 minutes of this intro. In a way, it was worth it. In a way, I would love it if he had if COVID affected the small Chihuahua community. But we got through it. I'll tell you, I had a positive experience tonight, Natasha.
Yeah.
I bought a brand new fire pit. It's a Japanese collapsible fire pit from a company called Snow Peak. Pretty unbelievable build quality. I mean, it's just awesome. Anyway, we just had a fire in the front yard. We roasted weenies. Our child screamed marshmallow, yay. And then I bought this book written in 1973 called Surfing California's Coast. And I just decided just now, nary 5 minutes ago, that I am going to have a good summer regardless of what COVID-19 wants from me. I'm going to pack up my fire pit, grab that book, get in the RV, and I'm going to head to the coast, free and clear of my wife and child.
I do think, though, that your happiness depends on how little you are willing to, or how much you are willing to not read the news.
Right.
You know, like I think it's impossible to be carefree and happy and also like up on everything.
Maybe that's true, but I just think
because I haven't been listening to the news or reading the news, and I'm feeling pretty good.
I feel like heading for the hills is the secret. The hills it's possible to avoid people out in the yonder. Campgrounds are opening up, so don't anybody take my plan because I don't want to see you out there. But I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the possibilities of one crazy summer.
Are you like a summer person? Like you
100%. Yes, I love the summer. It's the best.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about you? You don't care?
Now that I think about it, yeah. Well, LA kind of always feels like summer.
That's why I'm here. I love it here. All these people talking shit about California.
It's pretty great.
It's the best. I mean, if you live in another state than California, I'm not talking about your state, I'm talking about all the other states. They don't compare. Nothing compares to you, California. So this one's for you, Gavin Newsom, wherever you are, you slick-backed adulterer. Is there any possibility he doesn't do coke? 0%. 0%.
Well, listen, I'm really bored of my own thoughts, and
I feel the same way.
Why not call one of the funniest people that I know that I've ever met, friend of ours.
Friend of the pod. Well, it remains to be seen.
Let's call her up.
All right, let's call Tig Notaro. Hey, Tosh.
Yamish.
Have you ever noticed that whenever I put a picture of my body on Instagram, there are about 900 comments about my body hair?
Yes.
Ooh, look at that. Chewbacca. Wow, what a hairy mess. Ew, what's up? Oh, he really is Jewish,
I never
etc.
even noticed you had that much hair. I thought it was kind of cute.
Well, listen, if you're a guy that is very hairy, and sometimes you want to take matters into your own hands and make sure that that hair does not extend into an unsightly thatch of pubes that cover up your already teeny tiny genitalia, you are in luck, because Manscaped is a company that makes these kits for trimming and controlling your pubic region. And I'm not kidding. They sent one to me, and it's a really, this is going to sound trite, but it's a nice package. It's really cool. It comes with a little clipper, so you can trim them pubes down and make your big old dong look big old bigger.
And men, listen up. You don't want to use the same trimmer on your face as you're using on your balls.
An unbelievable point.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you're
you got to get your own special
ball
trimmer.
Yeah, you got to get them bees teed. But if you're a woman listening right now, you're probably like, well, wait, what does Manscaped have to do with me? Well, what if you're dating some, thatchy, hairy, wicket man, and you want him to trim down, and you don't want to have that awkward conversation? Well, you can get him one of these Manscaped packages. It comes with a clipper thing. It comes with all these products like a deodorant and a toner and all this great stuff to make your nutsack smell like a sack of warm roasted nuts.
Yes, the products smell good. I like the smell on you. The manly
you
scent.
like the smell on my...
When you did it smelled good. I like that kind of...
When you put your face in my crotch, you mean?
No, I liked it when you did it and then you came to bed. It smelled good.
Yeah, I was emanating beautiful scents.
Exactly.
And did it in a way, it made you want me more.
Exactly. Manscaped only uses the best ingredients, so you only have the best experience.
Honestly, the thing is, for how sort of funny the product is, there's nothing funny about the quality of it. There's 3 bottles of product: the toner, the deodorant, and then there's a clipper, and there's a brand new pair of boxer briefs that come with it. So
you've been wearing them.
They feel good. They're good boxer briefs. The whole thing is cool, and it comes in a really cool little leatherish pouch. It's awesome. So anyway, we're offering people 20% off plus free shipping with the code honeymoon at manscaped.com. If you're a man that needs to trim or a woman that has a man that would like to trim, this is a perfect gift for you or a perfect gift for your man. Trust me, he will thank you.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code honeymoon at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code honeymoon. Thank you, Manscaped, for making our sex lives better.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Tig.
Hi, Tig.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going all right. And you? And you?
And we're fine.
Oh, we're just, loving life.
Yeah, everything's
sure.
great. Everything's perfect, Tig. Thank you for asking.
We miss you.
Do you?
A lot of people would have gone with the I miss you too. I got to admire you for the follow-up.
I mean, I guess since COVID has started, I haven't seen you less than I usually see you. So I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, I feel like I would say, yeah, we're good friends, kind of with that high pitch. If I was talking to somebody, I would say, yeah, they're good friends of mine. I would definitely go up a little high.
Oh, no, Tig? Yeah, no, we know Tig. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely good friends,
So what's the stage better than that?
What's that?
I want to know what the stage better than that is.
I think it's very in touch with your real voice, and it just you're just you say, we've been very close for years.
Yeah, no, Tig and we're very good friends. That does feel different.
No, I love her.
It does. Yeah, you wouldn't if somebody ran into you, Moshe, and asked about our friendship, you wouldn't say she's by far one of the closest people in my life. You would say, yeah, she's definitely. I mean, I don't know what you would say. I would definitely say in a high pitched voice that you're both very good friends of mine.
No, I like that. I think that's right. What I would, if somebody kept prying after the high pitch, they would go. If I said, "Oh yeah, no, we're very good friends," and then they said, "Wait, what do you mean? I noticed that your voice went up. What do you mean by that?" Then I would probably say, "Well, when we spend time together, there are usually toddlers or comedy festivals involved."
Exactly.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like we're the type of people that we gravitate towards each other at comedy festivals because it's hard to talk to anyone else.
That's good though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when people do talk in a high pitched voice, I do ask them directly why their voice went up, because it is very, very telling. And speaking of friendships, I have to say, I was looking at my phone to look, for your text that this podcast was going to start, and I'm assuming we started. I hope we started.
Oh yeah, we've begun. Oh no, yeah, we begun. No, we started already.
Yeah. I missed a phone call from Caroline Ray. She lives in my neighborhood, and when I saw, she's never called me. We are not close enough to where she would call. We don't chat. And so when I saw that I missed her call, I was really scared to listen to the message. And it was nothing funny. She stayed in her very real voice. She didn't go up high. She wasn't doing a bit. She was just checking to see how we were doing.
That's nice. Also, like kind of late in the COVID.
Right.
Like
it is. It's a bold move. Week 4 of quarantine.
Week 7.
And late in the night.
Wait. So what happened? Did you call her back?
No, this is right when I was looking at my phone to see when you were going to text, and it said a missed call from Caroline Ray, and I thought.
Maybe you get us confused, and you had
Caroline called her.
Oh, okay.
Caroline left me a message. And when I saw that she called, I thought, she probably accidentally sat on her phone and called me. And then I was, there's a 30-second message from Caroline Ray. And I thought, this is probably horrible news because of COVID. And then she's just saying, hey, I miss seeing you guys around the neighborhood, just checking to see how you're doing. I'm like, 9 o'clock at night?
You know what it probably was is that Caroline has been very fastidiously calling literally everyone she knows, and this is the tier that you're at. It took 9 weeks of quarantine. She's like, well, why don't I give Tig a call?
You're probably... She has not stopped dialing in months.
I was really trying to call people at first, and then I kind of dropped off. But some days I'm like, I should just call people. But then when I start calling people,
I never heard from you.
From me?
Yeah, I'm closer to you than Caroline Ray.
Well,
yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I just always figure you're okay.
You always figure I'm okay?
Yeah,
I'm always fighting for my life in the hospital.
No, that's your persona. Tig is always okay.
No, but you're happily married and you're not alone. And I checked in on to make sure that you were feeling good. And
yeah, and I do. I don't want to paint the wrong picture. We are in touch. We do touch base. I feel like. And we had our birthday Zoom, so we are very close.
The truth is, your voice probably would go up less high for Natasha than for me, right? Okay, let's move on to another topic.
but honestly, Tig, I would like to talk to you. I'd like to, but you always seem very, very fulfilled. So I was talking more of all my single friends who are alone and kind of prone to depression and that kind of thing. But,
right.
But anyway, I know that you have 2 toddlers, which can be really hard as well, obviously, with no, with an infectious disease and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to have toddlers with an infectious disease.
It
And
is.
even without one.
Wait, I have a
Even when, go ahead.
I have a Caroline Ray story before we take a call or two. I don't know Caroline Ray at all, and I once randomly like cold called her or DM'd her on Twitter, asked her to be on my old podcast, the How Tall podcast, and she agreed to do it. And I said, great, it's on Wednesday at UCB Theater, and at this time. And then I got a text from her. She's like, okay, I'm in the taxi, and I was like, that's interesting, your taxi. And then she's like, I'm here. The theater's closed. And I was like, where are you? And she's like, I'm at the UCB Theater in New York. She was in a completely different time zone and in a different state. And it just didn't work out.
I'm sorry, honey.
That is hilarious. Well, I was going to say, she's a very nice person. She's very funny, and I would say very reliable. So I was very interested to see where this story was going. If you were going to tell me that she blew you off or was rude, I was all ears, because I have not known of that side of her.
Well, Tig,
Let's go to commercial.
wait, Tig, I just wanted to ask you, is there anything that you have come to terms with or learned during this quarantine? Is there anything you wanted to share? Anything interesting, funny, fun? Or we can take calls.
Well, I will say that aside from, the awareness of what everyone is going through outside of our little world, I feel like we're oddly thriving as a family, and there's so much. If there is some version of normal life that we will get back to one day, I hope to take a lot of what we've been experiencing right now with us, because it's been so positive.
I feel very similarly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are experiencing that, and as much as I do feel good and secure, and I am happily married, the reality is, there's real life, and there's hard days and hard patches and marriages and having kids and work and all of that. But this has been so incredible just in our family unit.
Right, like I was definitely not planning on spending this much time with my child.
Ever in your life.
Like I used to have
maybe
a nanny.
Maybe total. All
Yeah.
whole
But
life
I
total.
had a nanny who was here at least 40 hours a week, sometimes a little more.
Yeah.
And that wasn't when the baby was sleeping.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
just in the day that now I'm with her.
I think
But it's really
Now
cool.
you're with the nanny.
I think we're experiencing the same thing. There's like this enforced bonding that is made things feel even deeper. Or I don't know. I also feel like we're lucky at the age that our kids are. How old are your kids? Are like what, a year older?
They're like 4.
Yeah. It's like
They'll be 4 in a few weeks.
yeah, we're lucky enough to have children at the age where they're really psyched to hang out with their parents, stuck inside with us. Like,
Yeah.
imagine.
And they have our kids think, we haven't told them about the virus, and we don't really let them see even masks. And so they just think they are on spring break is all we've been telling them. And so what's hilarious is spring break last year, they were too young to know what spring break was, so they don't know what it is or how long it lasts typically. So they have no follow-up questions when they'll say, "Oh, can we go to Rite Aid?" which is their favorite place to go because it has, chips and it has toys and we're like, "Oh, no, everything's closed. Everyone's on spring break." And they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, after spring break, can we go to Rite Aid?" And we're like, "Yeah." And we had to drive we were going to do one of those, very popular these days, birthday parades or whatever for one of their friends, and we drove past Rite Aid, and one of our sons said, "Oh, somebody's going in Rite Aid." And we were like, "Oh, no, he's just walking up to lock the door." And he's like, "No, I think he walked in." No, he's locking up to go on spring break.
Wait, I'm going to steal that. That's great. Spring break. I just keep telling her everything's closed.
Well, she's so young, she doesn't even ask. She's not asking about Rite Aid yet.
No, but she's like, well, why is everything closed? Why is school closed?
She's so young, she's not asking about Rite Aid.
We haven't gone through the basic rites of ascension of a child, which is you tell them what Rite Aid is and then you tell them what spring break is. She hasn't done either of those things.
Yeah, she's way too young to be having the Rite Aid conversation.
By the way, when they turn 5 and 6, they're going to be pissed at you. They're going to be like, "Wait, spring break is so unbelievably short."
They're going to forget all of this.
I thought you said it lasted until summer.
That's one thing that's been Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was just going to say one thing that's been helping me is realizing that they're not going to remember any of this.
Right.
Right.
4 though.
And
you have like one memory out of your whole year, like 5 years old. Like the whole year you're 5, you're going to remember one thing, probably.
Well, that's the thing is I feel like your kid and our kids, they're at the perfect age for this because they're not a newborn and they're not 5 or 6. And I feel like any younger than our kids or any older than our kids, there'd be too much, you would need a break. And so many people with newborns aren't getting a break.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then when you think of people that or kids that are, 5 and 6, they need a little more information. Whereas my sons, they do not have a clue what's going on. And I really feel like we can keep this from them for quite a while.
How old do you think you'll finally let them know about the COVID-19 virus?
We're not ever going to tell them. We're just going to let them have awkward conversations as they go back out in the world.
In middle school?
No, our generation of kids is the only generation that won't be affected by COVID.
No, they're going to be maybe. But in middle school, your sons are going to be like, "Why does everybody wash their hands so much?" We're like, "Oh, no, nothing. Let's go to Rite Aid."
Okay, well, we were going to take a call.
Yeah, what do you think, Tig? Will you help us give some advice to some callers?
Sure.
All right, awesome. Our first caller
is Chris in Vermont.
We're going to call Chris in Vermont.
Hello.
Hello, Chris?
Yes.
Hey, it's Natasha Leggero, Moshe Kasher, and our friend Tig Notaro.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Did we wake you up?
Oh no, I'm up. I know it's a little late, but I'm awake.
What's happening, Chris? How are you?
Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you guys. And Tig, I love you so much. Also, this is really exciting.
Thank you, Chris.
It's exciting for us as well.
Not been a great year, so this is definitely a highlight.
Oh, good. We're the highlight of your year.
Well, there's a lot of people that have had a bit of a bummer of a year.
Yes, that's true.
You take solace in that. So, Chris,
we're all hitching our wagon.
Chris, why'd you contact us? What's going on?
Okay, so basically, I was in a 5-year relationship. It was really my first serious relationship. I've dated before, but not long term. We broke up a couple just like less than a month before the whole pandemic really got bad. And basically the root of our problems was my ex-boyfriend's drinking. He struggled with alcoholism, and he actually ended up losing his job, and then also decided that because he was still going to have insurance, he was going to go to rehab. So after, it was really only the last 3 years or so that were kind of to the point where it was pretty bad. And I think a lot of the reason why I was having such such a problem is because I really felt like I put everything I had into the relationship, and I didn't really feel like I had in return. So since he's still in treatment right now, he's there because he can't really travel, but he's taking advantage of the opportunity to be there and get the help that he needs. And he seems like he's doing really well. He's, and we really love each other. I still love him and he still loves me. And I kind of, I've known you guys for a while, but I didn't realize that until I started listening to the podcast, that you, Moshe, are sober. And Natasha, I don't believe that you are sober. So sort of,
She is not.
at least I know that you smoke weed like I do, which is cool. But
So wait,
I
what's
wasn't sure
your
about
question
too much
though,
about
Chris?
the alcohol.
What's your question?
So basically, my question is: do you think it's possible that somebody? Do you think that it's possible that two people can give it a second shot when one person has been through treatment and is sober and the other person is not? I enjoy having a drink.
But you don't want to feel like you're going to be triggering him every time you like have a cocktail.
Right. And I've always been sort of the one that goes out and has drinks with friends and stuff. So it's just hard to even imagine what that might even look like or feel like.
Right. All right. How long were you guys together?
5 years.
5 years. So you had the majority of it was bad.
Yeah, the majority of it was a struggle.
Got it.
We were living with roommates, and then we moved into our own house, and that's when it started sort of going downhill.
Got it. All right. So he's in treatment. You're sitting there in quarantine, pining for him for the salad days of your relationship youth, hoping that you can jumpstart that relationship once he gets out. Fragile and newly sober, you guys can get back to you doing bong rips and going out clubbing while he stays at home gripping a big book, basically.
Yeah, well, maybe not quite like that, but yes. And we never really went out too much.
Gotcha. All right. Hold on. All
yeah.
right, Chris, hold on. Let me think about this. Tig, do you have any immediate thoughts?
Well, I know that when people are newly sober, one of the hard and fast rules, right, is to not be romantically involved with somebody. So I also, I don't know. I feel like sometimes you can, I don't know if you guys were always together. Were you on and off? Were you back and forth?
No. All together the entire time. Solid monogamous for 5 years.
I think you need to give him 6 months after like he gets out. Like you need to take a little bit of your own space. It's like you don't need to be babysitting him straight out of rehab post-pandemic.
I kind of agree with what Tig and Natasha are intimating. I mean, I've never loved the rule in AA. That's sort of I don't know who made it up. It's literally a random. It's not.
I did.
Oh, you did, Tig?
Yeah.
Tig, you're so prolific.
I've never been in AA, but it was just something I put in as a suggestion.
You're so prolific, Tig. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is
it seems
amazing.
to help. Yeah.
But
That's why I go back to it every time.
Especially, you must have only been about 2 or 3 years old when you did that, so that's really double amazing.
I was 2.5.
you barely knew what Rite Aid was back then, Tig.
I toddled over and I put my suggestion in the box and fell over and cried.
But anyway.
But you're right, Moshe. Just because they say that
Well,
doesn't.
they say it. It's not. Listen. What if you guys were married? You've been together long enough that you could be married. I mean, it's not like you're supposed to divorce your husband or wife when you get sober. That's for sure not true. But
Right.
But the folk wisdom in AA around that rule that was made out of nowhere. People will say, you know why they say don't be in a relationship for the first year? It's not for you. It's for the people you're gonna date. It's to keep them safe because you're in such a scattershot state of like mental illness and disease. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
anywhere near somebody that you're romantically connected with. But you're already in the relationship with this guy. You've been in a relationship with him for 5 years. Now he's sober. So it doesn't make sense for you to jump back into a relationship with him. It also doesn't make sense for you to not jump back into a relationship with him because you've got history. So I think what Natasha was intimating is when things calm down and he gets out of rehab, is he going to be living with you when he gets out?
No.
Oh, well, that's great, actually.
Take it slow for
That's
Yeah.
perfect. You get to date him again and figure out if you guys.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I think you date him and you date him with limited expectations because the truth is he might be a different person. He might emerge a third person. You had good boyfriend, then you had drunken alcoholic boyfriend, and now you've got fresh out of rehab boyfriend, and you have no idea.
And is he wanting to reconcile with you,
Yes.
or is this your?
Good question,
It's
Tig.
mutual. Thank you.
It would be
No,
funny.
yeah, it would be weird if he like completely didn't even want to talk to me and I was calling you right now.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
no, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be weird. I mean, people can kind of have their own thoughts of, oh,
Yeah.
this didn't work out, and maybe I'll do this, and but if it's mutual, then even if something as well known as the rule that I made up for AA says that you shouldn't date, I think people are going to do what they want to do, and I think that there is something to, like everybody's kind of talking about, is just a slower approach, and it's likely a different person and getting to know each other all over again.
Right. Yeah, I kind of was thinking that.
well, that's a beautiful thing in a way, Chris, and it doesn't necessarily mean you'll get what you want, but it definitely means you have an adventure ahead of you. So that sounds like fun.
Well, Chris, try to take our
Yeah.
advice. Slower pace. We have to go.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was that kind of was what my gut instinct was telling me, but it feels good to hear, especially from you guys who, make it work with one sober and one non-sober partner, which makes me feel at least there's some hope.
There is hope, Chris, but you don't know what that hope looks like. So we wish you luck.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, seriously.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Chris, take care.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Great to talk to you guys. Bye-bye.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Tig.
And so is that the end of the podcast?
Well, let me ask you. Do you got
Let's
one? You got one more in you?
Of course I do.
Oh, great.
Wait, but we'll give you
Yeah.
a choice.
Yeah, we'll give you a choice of
That
what-
one was kind of heavy, Moshe. That's
Well,
why I didn't
sometimes
want.
they're heavy. I thought that
Alright.
was good. We gave him good advice.
I know, but
And Tig got some zingers in.
it sounds doomed.
It doesn't sound doomed to me. People have come back from worse scenarios than that.
All right.
No, that's the worst scenario I've heard.
Okay, well, we're just gonna see what's up with this girl. Let's call Allison in Baltimore.
All right, Allison in Baltimore.
And then we'll let Tig go back to her family.
I'm not really trying to rush out of this,
Oh, then can we
but
do?
it is the latest I've been up.
Moshe stays up till like 3 in the morning. It's so annoying.
But isn't this showtime? A bunch of comedians have been like, "Oh yeah, 9 is late," but then I'm like, "But don't we all do stand up? Isn't that what time we're all performing?" It's so funny that we go.
I moved my Largo show that used to be at 8:30. I moved it to 7:00 because we get up at 5:00 every day with our little roommates.
It definitely changes things, doesn't it?
You get up at 5:00?
Yes.
Yeah, they just Google image search Rite Aid for 4 hours until 9 a.m. to breakfast.
I guess if that's one of the hard parts about twins is they wake each other up.
Right. Oh man, there must be so much.
Well, actually, no. I think that might go for mainly when they're babies, but now they don't really wake each other up. It's just that they're in the phase of getting out of their beds and coming into our bed, and they come at different times in the night and the morning, and but they're pretty much ready to go.
It's like mice.
What? They're exactly like mice. How is it like mice? I guess I've never had mice.
I mean, just at all hours, like things coming into your bed. It sounds awful.
What? Well, what is going on at your house?
I
We
locked
don't
her.
have a rodent problem in our bed.
I
We
locked
have
her in her room.
precious little babies.
There's so much wrong with Natasha's analogy. One is that there's constantly mice in our bed, and the other is that our children are like vermin.
No, we got one of those things off Amazon, so she can't get out of her room.
Right. She's got a little a thing on her doorknob, so she just turns it forever. Screaming.
Well,
out.
yeah, we used to lock them in their room, but then they started growing and
Right.
kicking their door, and it was like two large. It was
Oh, just like
one
mice.
morning we opened their door, and there were these two large rats standing there.
Oh man, I
They
hate.
had grown.
Oh, that's very funny. It does sound cute though. I can't say I'm not looking forward to the phase where our child comes and like nudges us awake in the morning and wants to jump in bed. That sounds kind of cool.
It's not.
Okay.
It's in theory. I mean, Stephanie, and we take pictures of it because we know it's a cute moment, and we have these two precious little beings in our bed, and they bring one of them brings his little stuffed elephant with him, and then the other one brings a metal Ghostbuster car and a calculator that he snuggles.
Wait, did you say an
And then-
elephant?
One of them had a little
That's
stuffed
amazing.
elephant.
That an elephant and a mouse can finally be friends. I mean, those are classic enemies.
Wait, and then one of them snuggles with a calculator?
And a metal Ghostbusters car.
Wow.
And then the cat is in there too. And so we know that this is a cute, funny time, but the reality is, we're tired.
Yeah.
We're tired.
Well, you know what
So-
Moshe does? You might want to steal his hack. He
I wish you wouldn't talk about this,
he
Natasha.
wakes up with the baby because we trade off days. When he has to wake up with the baby, he puts on an eye mask.
No, I wake up, I give her breakfast, and then I turn the TV on.
And then he he lays in bed, Moshe does, puts on an eye mask that you get from the plane, and then headphones on with white noise and just takes a 2-hour nap while she watches TV.
How much TV does she watch?
It's not 2 hours. Natasha's exaggerating for comedic effect.
It's a 2-hour nap.
She'll watch a couple episodes of Daniel Tiger or something, and I will go into a deep meditative trance state. It's working
Okay,
really
but
well.
how much TV does she watch?
Like
Oh.
7 hours a day. No, I'm just kidding. We're doing good. I'd say
Yeah.
around two or
Hour-
under a
Yeah,
day.
2 hours or under a day. What about your boys?
I would say about 3.5. We're averaging.
We're probably averaging more 3, but I've been like really trying to have her not be watching TV, but it's like exhausting.
No, but we literally have to average it because when she's with me, she watches 3 to 4, and when she's with Natasha, it's 1 to 2. So
But then I don't get anything else done
right.
because
Well,
I'm like,
The truth comes out.
Well,
You
see-
guys we're coming out with the 2 hours out of the gate, and then it's like
Well, you were so
we haven't seen her in a
forthcoming.
week.
Hey, Tosh.
yeah, Mosh.
You know, I realized recently. Do you know that you spend 1/3 of your life asleep?
Really?
A third of your life, and some of us are spending that third on a crappy mattress that we've been sleeping on for a decade plus. It's a terrible idea to not get enough sleep. It's bad for your health. It's just a bad deal. And thank God there are amazing mattress companies out there that will ship a mattress straight to your door. Our favorite is Helix. The reason I like Helix so much is that they let you take a quiz to find out exactly what kind of mattress fits your sleeping style. I like firm.
And I like fluffy.
So we got a firm with a mattress topper, and we're both happy.
Helix Sleep has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. If you like a mattress that's really soft or firm, if you like to sleep on your side or your back, all that's factored in. We took the quiz.
Yeah, and we
And-
told you what we got, but you don't have to take our word for it. Helix was actually named the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2019 and 2020 by GQ and Wired. So if you go to helix.com/honeymoon, you take that 2-minute sleep quiz, they will match you to a customized mattress that will get you the best sleep of your life. I know this sounds like I'm just reading ad copy, but I honestly believe this is truly my opinion that when it comes to a mattress, you should not just take the one that you've been sleeping on and accept it. You should get yourself something perfect for you.
They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up if you don't love it, but you will.
What do you have to lose? $200 off is what we're offering right now. All mattress orders, $200 off, plus 2 free pillows for our listeners at helix.com/honeymoon. Helix, HELIX.com/honeymoon for up to $200 off.
Okay, well, let's call this chick. She's waiting for us. Let's call Allison in Baltimore.
Hello?
Hi, Allison. It's
Hi, Allison. Hey, Allison.
It's Natasha Leggero and Moshe Kasher and our friend.
And our friend who has with the COVID voice is Tig Notaro.
Hello.
That was Tig Notaro.
Oh my gosh. Very cool.
How you doing?
Hey, Allison.
Hey, good to hear your voice.
Is it your voice?
It is. Well, I was pretending like you answering your phone woke me up. But yeah, it's my voice.
Allison, what's
Very
going
cool.
on? How's your COVID?
Okay, well, I just had a school program end last week, and it was very intense program, and now it's basically like week 1 for me.
School
And I'm
program, you
realizing
said?
what everyone's been going through.
Oh.
Wait, when you say how's your COVID, does that mean how's this time period been,
Yeah.
or do you have COVID?
No, I started to realize that when I say how's your COVID, I just mean like
How's your COVID
how's your
time?
Christmas doing?
How's
or
your
whatever.
spring break?
Right. But then I realized
Okay.
it sounds like I'm saying
How's your COVID break? We're on COVID break.
Wait, so Allison, you say you were in a program, so you haven't been quarantining?
So, my last semester of the school program was this semester, and starting in the middle of March, we went to homeschool.
Got it.
But it was so busy that I was home, but it didn't really feel
and now it's kind of
like
setting
full
in.
forced COVID.
Right.
Yeah, this is like the first week.
You never want that full force COVID. Never. Okay, well, what's up?
Yeah, halfway was all right.
How can we help you?
Okay, so probably because I'm not busy anymore, I'm realizing it's been 4 years since I was in a relationship. And I'm starting to feel like I'm ready, as, you know, now that it's unavailable, I guess.
Okay. And you want to kind of like start getting ready to date? Or like do you want advice on starting to date again?
Yes. So what I'm looking for is like, when this all moves over, what do I do?
Well, I would say take your mask
Well,
off.
you got to get yourself a cute mask.
Like, what do you mean? What do you do to get a man?
Are you looking to just go out, have dinner? Are you looking to get married? You want kids? Do you want, what are you looking for?
So I'm kind of in between. I'm 32, and I don't really know as far as getting married or having kids. I'm not sure yet. I definitely don't want to go like online just to hook up, but it's sort of just like trying to find a person that I'm excited about being with again.
So you're
I think my voice sounds a little upset, but I'm just so nervous because I'm excited to talk to you all.
no, your voice honestly sounds kind of sultry, if I'm being honest.
Moshe?
Oh, sorry, Tig.
Calm
Sorry.
down.
sorry. You're right.
Well, here's what if you don't want to go online and hook up, I'm going to live vicariously through you and tell you what I would do if I were not a hot item that got swiped up real fast. If I were single, here's what I would do. I would make a plan of different places that I have wanted to go that interest me, that would potentially have the kind of people that would be like-minded, and I would go completely out of my pattern. I wouldn't go to my typical coffee shop. I wouldn't go to my typical grocery store. I would go in a whole new direction and world and see what I stumbled upon. And I feel like that's a way that you could kind of step into somebody else's shoes and live a totally different life. That's my fantasy if I were to fantasize about not being married to the love of my life.
Which you do not. That is not something you fantasize about, but if you did.
I actually don't. I have no interest in being with anybody else. But
that's very sensible advice.
I love it. That was a banger, Tig. That was doing an advice podcast. I would say that was top 3 out the gate, just from the hip. That was good, Tig.
It takes effort, though.
But I mean, and make it your pattern, like that's your new life, because you already know what your old life has served up for you, and you're not finding what you want. So go find your new grocery store, go find your new coffee shop, go find your new thing, and then just do that life in that world for a little bit, and throw in some other stops along the way and see if there's somebody out there.
I'll take it a step further than Tig and say, like,
please don't.
No, I have to, Tig. This is what I do. But I will say that, like, Tig's advice is so good, and it actually is going to be even more meaningful after this thing dies down, if and when it does die down, because all of society is going to be emerging from this weird, like, pause press of life, and the world and culture probably is going to explode. That's what happened in the Roaring 20s, is they came out of the Spanish flu and into this, like, new experience of the world. So, like, what Tig's talking about is going to be good advice times 10, because, like, everybody's going to be coming out of their little cave.
Let's hope, because we are, they didn't have technology, and, like, everyone didn't have a phone during the Spanish flu.
Right. But I think so. I think people are going to be itching to get out and itching, and I think taking Tig's advice is really good advice. And also don't rush it. It's like we get so many of these calls like this where people are like, okay, I'm ready. What do I do? It's like, well, you probably wait around for a few years until you meet somebody. It's a nearly impossible equation to find someone else to fit into your life. But so many people have done it that there is hope.
And I would like to add, making my list of non-negotiables, what you want from someone, what things you can't live without, just so you're really clear on that and you don't end up in a relationship with a loser for 2 years.
That is really good advice too.
Oh, yeah.
Combining these 2 bits of advice from Tig and Natasha, know exactly what you want and then go change your pattern, and I feel like you'll be in really good shape.
Because you sound kind of hot.
Oh, calm down, Natasha.
Guys.
I would say, my non-negotiable is just saying somebody that doesn't want to borrow my bank card in the middle of the night.
So you've dated some winners.
You're not going to be able to find that after COVID.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've dated some winners in the past, Allison.
So that's the thing, is like to have the first one be kind of not successful, like have an okay go of it after a pretty bad one.
Right.
And wait, so your exes, it was truly the middle of the night and they're wanting to borrow your bank card?
That's a drug addict, Tig.
It was. So it was like probably 4 a.m. So
I had a guy like that.
Like, short version, he was a recovering addict. When I met him, he was like, I think he kind of wanted like a mom nurse kind of a situation where he wanted to be.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
That's actually a porn search category. Mommy nurse.
Nurse mommy.
That's called you know what that's called, Allison, is a NILF.
I'm not a MILF.
I can't even, if I were in bed and I was dating somebody, I guess that's where the disconnect, I don't think I've been with a drug addict, but if a girlfriend was like, "Hey, can I get your bank card?" I would be like, "Pardon? Can you get my bank card?" No.
Certainly the
Yeah,
second
I mean,
time. The second time,
I'd like to
definitely
be
it's a
that
no.
person.
Well, you are that person now.
Yeah.
You got to be strong. Hey, it's
Yeah.
a non-negotiable.
That's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, you got to be so strong that if someone wakes you up at 4 a.m. and asks for your bank card, you be so strong that you say, "Pardon?"
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah, Allison, no more losers, no more drug addicts. You've got this. I think that's what Tig and Natasha and sort of everybody that I've listened to that's talking about the possibilities of positivity coming out of this thing are saying is that we all are getting this monumental opportunity to reconfigure our values and our expectations and our desires
and what do we want?
and what we want going forward. You've got this great opportunity. Like, you're not going to date another loser because you've got this time to sit and think, like, what do I want? Who's best for me? Where can I find them? And what grocery store will I snag them at?
And you've lived through a pandemic. You don't have time. There might be another pandemic coming. There's no more time for nonsense.
That's right.
Okay,
You're
somebody
right.
left
You're
a rotting
absolutely right.
pig out, and now we all have COVID. All right, we don't have
Oh,
time
God.
for this.
And you don't have money either. Your bank account has been diminished, so you can't lend somebody your bank account.
Okay, Allison. Well, good luck. I think we
Yeah.
really helped you.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're in good shape now. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
I can't wait for you to go about your new little route in life. Let me know how it goes.
Me too.
I will. Thank you so much. Have a
Bye.
good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right, I love you too.
Moshe always makes fun of me because I want to get off the phone with people, but I just feel like once we help them, let's move on.
Let's get out of there. Well, Tig, you got to go to bed anyway.
I do have to go to bed. I have to get up at 5 a.m.
All
Thank
right.
you
I
for
have those
talking to us.
rodents.
You got some mice on their way.
and then there's a cat in the bed. You'd think she'd be swatting them out of the bed, but no.
There's a cat, 2 mice, and an elephant. This
I
is
did not
this
mean
is
to call
truly an
your
odd
kids
couple.
that. I'm sorry.
And a metal Ghostbuster car.
I love the idea that one of your sons sleeps with a calculator. That's the one that I would invest heavily in and send him to magnet schools and stuff like that. Seems like he's headed straight for the top.
Oh my gosh, they're both so ridiculous. I don't even know what to do.
It's
Well,
a pretty nice time to be able to hang, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like family time has been the best. But I think everyone's on a different journey. You know, like single people have their own. Like this girl who just called. Like, you know, you get to like find a second hobby. And we talked to Hannibal, and he's like a music producer now. He just has so much
Yeah.
time on his hands. Like people with
Right.
people. You know, Seth Rogen. I follow him on Instagram, and he's like throwing like pottery and making. He's like kilning different.
Right.
He's got this great collection
Actually,
of
they're nice
beautiful
pots, too.
art and you know everyone's just but you know with the kids it's like we're totally like engrossed in them, but at the same time it is like very positive.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice experience. And speaking of nice experiences, Tig, this has been really nice.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
We got to see each
I'm gonna
other
get off
sometime
the-
soon.
I'm going to get off the phone and call Caroline Ray at 11 o'clock at night. Be
I
like,
just-
why did you call me?
Call her right now and just say, "I'm fine, Caroline," and then hang up.
I just lose my number, weirdo. Who calls people at 9 p.m. to see how they're doing in the middle of a pandemic? 2.5 months in.
All right, Tig, well, give our love to Stephanie and your darling rodents, and we love you. And we'll,
Give my best to your darling rodent, and we love you guys.
Okay.
And not even in a high-pitched voice. Thanks for having me on, and let me know how many downloads this gets.
Yeah, we'll send it to you. Thank you, Tig.
okay.
We miss
Bye.
you.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was so sweet. So nice. Epic, I would say epic guest, Natasha.
She was good. She gave that girl some good advice. That's what I mean when I tell people stuff like go get into your own thing, but she really articulated it.
I loved it. No, but you guys were coming from different angles, and I thought that was the best double whammy of advice. Is that Tig was saying, change your setting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they say, like the best way to take psychedelics is, if you heard this, I'm sure you've heard this, is setting, and dosage, right? And the best way to not have a bad trip is you got to be in the right mindset, right? You have to be in the right setting, and you got to not take too much, right? And it was almost like you were saying set, right? You were saying mindset, like get your brain ready for what you want out of love and out of life. And Tig was saying, change your setting, reconfigure your setting. And I almost feel like the COVID thing, in a weird way, is like the dosage. You know, it's like, this is how heavy life is going to be after we all pop out of this thing, if we all pop out of this thing. And I thought it was well done. It was a good 1-2 punch, and I was glad to be here to observe it. And it made me realize something really important.
What, Moshe?
Something big.
What?
Something really crazy.
Huh?
I think I love you.
I love you too.